For the 100% cheapest coins on the internet with reliable delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor MMOEXP by clicking the link at the top of the description and use code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Salsa family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 21 video on the channel, and in today's video we are going to be going over a way to create unlimited free 50 players. And now the 50 promo came out quite a while ago, but a lot of these cards are becoming super relevant again as they start to get upgrades. Deion Sanders, Michael Vick, Randy Moss, all of those players have gotten new cards super recently, so the prices of these 50 players have gone up. And if you want to pick up these upgrades and you want to power up the cards, you need to get the 50 version of the player, which is honestly super expensive for a lot of these different cards, including the players I talked about, as well as Julio Jones. So in this video, we're going to be going over a way you guys can create auctionable 50 players for free and either sell them off or use them in your power-ups. Hopefully this one does help you out, and let's get into the video.
Like the video.
So let's get into the video here today, boys. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is a method that I actually talked about, I want to say like 4 months ago, and we're going to be using the Get a Player packs to eventually create these 50 players for free. Now, before we get into the packs and the strategy behind this method, I want to go into the 50 sets and show you guys how you can get these cards. Now, as you will see, let's take a look at Julio Jones right here. Julio Jones is a very expensive 50 player, and in order to get the card, you're going to need to put in a total of 32, 82 plus overall fresh players. Now, to get these fresh players, there's a couple of ways you guys can do that. The first one is simply pulling the 82s out of the pack. The second one is going to be converting some 81 overall fresh players into an 82. And the third and final way is by using some gold players to then create an 82 overall card. And the same thing is going to go for the 86s. We'll talk about those players a little bit later. They're a bit harder to get, but in today's video, we're going to be focusing on 82s. And at the end of the video, I'll talk about how the method works for 86s. So in simplest terms, here's what we are going to do. We are going to open up the Get a Player pack for about 10 to 15 minutes in today's video. And then with all of our elite players that we get out of the pack, we are going to be selling those cards off to cover the cost of the packs. Any of the gold players will then get upgraded to 50 cards. Any 50 cards will be used in the Julio Jones set, and any additional coins will be used to snipe some 50 players to then get for the set. So as you guys can see right here, we started off with an 83 overall Warren Sapp. That is perfect. That is a card we can use in the sets, and that is basically a free 50 player we did just get. We just got that 83 for about 500 coins, and with the other elites we get, just like this Harvest card right here, that is going to pay for that pack that we just got. So in literally just 30 seconds, we were able to get ourselves a free 83 overall 50 player. It is that simple, boys. But obviously, we're also going to need to upgrade our cards, and we're going to need to do a little bit of work in the sets to ensure that we're getting as much value as possible from the players. So what I'm going to do right here is probably open up a few more packs on camera, then we'll open up the rest of them off camera. There's not really a specific amount of coins I'd recommend you guys spend on these. I would just open these packs until you get bored, because to be honest with you guys, it doesn't really matter how many of these you open up. The more you open up, the better. So there's not like a maximum or a minimum amount of packs you guys need to do, but the main thing about these packs is it does get a little bit tiring going through and opening them all up. It gets a little bit boring as well. So what I'd recommend you guys do is open these packs up until you get bored. Let's continue to go through right here as we're on a little bit of a hot streak here. 3 elites so far in really not all that many packs, and you're going to get a lot of elites out of here, boys. Those elites, they're going to be able to cover the cost of all the packs that you got, and then we're going to be able to create those free 50 players as we got a Dalvin Cook right there. So honestly, with these packs, I'd expect us to make some coins, get some free 50 players, and then be able to use those coins that we just made to maybe buy some other 50 players. And maybe in today's video, in about 5 or 10 minutes of opening this pack up, we might have like 6 of the players needed to go into the Julio Jones set, which is actually a pretty solid amount of cards when I'm completely honest with you guys. And right here we get another elite. It is a Harold Landry. So think about this. Let's say you just do this a few times per day. Maybe you do this for like 20 minutes, listen to some music, watch some Netflix. By the end of that time period, you could potentially have like a Julio Jones card for free. You could have some work done on the Randy Moss, on the Deion Sanders. And the reason why I'm making this video, like I said before, is because these players are incredibly expensive right now. Julio Jones is selling at around 150k for a 92 overall. That is absolutely crazy. And then a lot of those 96s like Vic, like Moss, like Deion, those players have also shot up like crazy. So let's continue to open these up. We get our Robert Quinn, and the packs are pretty hot for us right now, boys. Get a Player packs are an awesome coin making method. So we're kind of taking advantage of the fact that we get a lot of cards that are needed to go into these 50 sets, and we're going to create some of these players for free. So let me continue to open these packs up off camera. I'll do it for about 4 or 5 more minutes, and I'll see you guys in my binder. Well, boys, I just had an absolutely monstrous roll right here. Back to back to back elites. We were able to open up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 of these packs in the video. That is close to about 25k in spend, and we are going to make most of that back with a coin card that we got. 80 overall Dwayne Brown, who is then going to quick sell for for 18k is going to make back almost all of our coins. We have a crazy amount of good pulls. Zeke Elliott, 85 overall, 8,000 coins right there. So what I'm going to do is let's get into upgrades. Let's talk about how we're going to make even more of these players for free, because we're going to be getting a whole ton in the video. So to start with, hop on over to your exchange sets, and we're going to upgrade all of our low silvers and high silvers into some low gold players, which we then have a lot of versatility with, and there's a couple of different things we can do with these low gold. So get into both of these sets right here, and you're putting all your players into these ones. So you're going to put players into this one, the lower overall silver set, then move on up to the lower overall gold set, and you don't really want to pull power-ups out of this. Power-ups aren't selling for a whole ton, so do this until you have no silvers, and then go into this one, finish off with those other high silvers, and I'll see you in a second once I do that. So now that we've done that, we're going to head on over to the archive, and we're going over to the Superstar MVP sets. We're scrolling to the bottom right here, and you guys are going to do this set right here. This set is going to require 370 to 74s, while the one in the exchange set is going to require 4 of them. So you want to do this set right here to get some of those higher overall gold players, and do this until you have no golds remaining. We're going to do this until we don't have any more left, and this is going to give us some of those high gold players that we need to complete the 50 sets, and it's going to give us them at the cheapest rate possible, because instead of actually doing the other set, which requires 4 golds, this one only requires 3. So this is an absolute must to do this set right here. I'll see you guys once I do that. Okay, so now that we've exchanged all of our golds into some higher overall gold players, go on over to the 50 exchange, scroll on down to whichever set you're planning on doing. We're going to do this one right here for the 82 overall players, because we are focusing on Julio Jones in today's video. And now with all those gold cards that we did end up pulling, those gold cards that we ended up upgrading into, we are going to use them all in this set. And usually what I like to do is I'll filter by overall and go from the bottom to the top to ensure that we're putting in the lowest price cards. Just like that, we have all 11 of the players to go into the set. We get ourselves an 82 overall fresh player, and this 82 overall fresh player is then going to be used in the Julio Jones set. So count it up. We have 2 of these cards right here, and we have quite a few other golds we can also put into this set. Whether we want to do this set right here or some other set, you can use your gold players strategically, because these sets are going to have different requirements. So some of the higher overall cards are going to take some higher overall golds, and as we get to the 86 overall set, this set right here, this one is actually going to require a combination of elite and high gold players. So if you wanted to do this set, you would have to put in some of those elite players that you did end up getting as well, put in some of those lower overall elites. As you guys can see, we've got a lot of these lower overall elites that really aren't selling for a whole ton. So we can put any of these players into the set, we can put these 5 cards in, and again, we could do this set right here, and we could get some of the players to go into the Randy Moss, and instead of using our higher overall gold players on the set from before, we would put them into this one, and we'd get some 86s that we can then put into the Randy Moss set. But like I said before, we are focusing on Julio in today's video, so let's continue working on the sets. Okay, so now that we've done that, we should have cleared out a large section of our binder, and now what you guys are going to do is you're going to sell off the highest overall players that you ended up pulling until you make your coins back. So if you guys remember, we spent 25k on the set. We're going to quick sell Dwayne Brown, he's one of the highest players, and we're also then going to sell off Ezekiel Elliott for 8,000 coins. When we add those 2 players up, that's 25k, and that is everything that we spent on these cards. So just like that, we have all these other free players in our binder, which we can then do a couple of different things with to maximize our value and potentially get some more free 50 players to use in the set. Okay, so since we're focusing on the Julio Jones in today's video, and we're not going for the Randy Moss, like I showed you guys before, if you wanted to do the Randy Moss, we can put in all these 80 overall players that we did end up getting into the set right there. But since we're focusing on Julio Jones, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to sell off my elite players, and with all the coins we get from these cards, we are then going to start to buy some of the 82 overall players and then do the Julio Jones set. So I'm going to sum up the total of all the players that we have in our binder right here, and let's see how much coins that is. So in total, we have about 45,000 coins in the binder. That is headlined by TJ Watt, who is actually required to go into the power up for the higher overall TJ, selling for around 10k. That card is pretty solid. A lot of cards in here selling for around 4 to 5k. The Dalvin Cook, the Robert Quinn, all those cards are bringing us a solid amount of value, and we have 45k in these players, which we can then use to buy some more 50 players to go into the set. So assuming that all the players have sold off already, I haven't sold them all off, we would have 45,000 coins in our binder to work with, and what we're going to do is go by 82 to 83, filter it down by the program the 50, and start to use these coins on some of the cards. So we're going to buy as many of these players as we possibly can. As you guys can see, these 82s right now, they are selling for 3k. So when we do the math, we are going to be able to get ourselves a total of around 12 of these 82 overall players for free. Remember, we had one of the 82s that we pulled, we had another one of those 83 overall players that we pulled, so that is going to bring the total up to around 15 of these cards that we will have just gotten for free. That is half of the Julio Jones set. And let's say, for example, we were doing Randy Moss. If we were doing Randy Moss, we would have gotten one of the players for free by using all the cards that we got. We would go by 86 to 87 right here, and now we're sniping on this filter, and we have about 6 or 7 of these players we've gotten for free with the 45k that we just made right there. So this is an absolutely fire method, you guys. guys have to be doing this right here to get these 50 players for free. You can make Julio Jones in about 30 minutes for free. You can make some of those higher overall 96 overall players in maybe about an hour for free. This is absolutely risk-free. It's not going to take you any real effort either. All you really need to do is open the pack up, and as we take a look at the prices of these 50 cards, I want to show you how much these cards are going for, because this is why I made the method for you guys. Randy Moss, okay, he's not selling for a whole ton. Michael Vick, yeah, maybe you want Michael Vick. He's selling for around 200k, but the card that is absolutely insane is Deion Sanders, man. Deion Sanders, who in my opinion is an absolute must at the cornerback position, selling for 330k. I don't want you guys spending that much on the card, so be sure to do this method if you want Deion Sanders or if you want Julio Jones. I would say those are probably the most important players to do the method on. As we take a look at Julio right here, you guys will see the card is selling for a crazy amount of coins. 120 to 140k is way too much. So if you guys do this method, I would already have 15 of the players that go into the Julio Jones set absolutely free by just doing the method right here, and then we're gonna be able to get ourselves that Julio. We can use the training on the card, and this is an absolutely fire method, something you guys have to be doing right here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and until next time, I am out. Peace.
So,